Okay, so what we've got here is the Longer B140W laser. And it also, this one comes with a bed extension kit. What I'll do first is have a quick look through the instructions to see how this goes together. Okay, so we've got two lots of instructions. We've got the instructions which come with the extension kit, and then we've got the instructions which come with a laser engraver. So the instructions for the extension kit basically take you through the process of taking your existing machine apart and then go on to assemble. And obviously the instructions for the laser engraver are from if you just bought it without the extension kit. So I think I need to pick up around about step, wherever it is, 5 or 6, which is to remove the parts that adjust and fix a timing belt on the left and right hand profiles, which I think are going to be those. Now normally these tend to come with a little toolkit somewhere, and it's the power supply. And there we go. Okay, so following the instructions, I need to take this off first. And now I think it's just a case of fitting those to these. Okay, so now I've swapped those two brackets over. I think the assembly should be identical now to what the original assembly is. So we'll have a look and get the front and the back out and then see how it all goes together. Right, so apparently the first thing we need to do is to slide the x-axis into these rollers. Okay, so the next bit it says to do is to pull the cable into this groove here. So using this one as a reference, the cable obviously goes like that, and then we'll put this through here. Okay, so now we just need to put the front and the back on, so just carefully flip this over. Okay, so apparently it's the M5 by 16 on the top, the M5 by 12 on the face here. And then it should be a repeat for this side. Right, so now we've got this side in, I can just check these cables are the right length and pulled through enough. Which they seem to be fine. Right, so the next part of the assembly is we need to fit the belts. Apparently there's 2 clamp positions to put these in, and then obviously the roller at the one end and then the drive motor at the other. Okay, so you can just see here where the drive belt goes round, that tooth gear there. Okay, it's one. Okay, so the belt goes through the top there and round the pulley, and then the one end goes in there, and then the other there. Then all we'll do is just take up any slack out of the belt on that adjustment screw there. Now once you've got enough tension on the belt, which is a B flat or C sharp, just lock that off there. Then we've got two limit switches to fit, one's for the Y, one's for the X, labelled up. Okay, so this is the Y, so there's two tiny little threaded holes down here already for this one. Okay, so the Y axis is connected underneath here, which is that cable there. And then the X axis, there's two little holes across here that screws into. And then X axis motor and limit switch. So we've just put these two plugs in here. They only go in one way, so you can't get them wrong anyway. Right, so we'll put the laser module in next. So we've got these two couple of thumb screws which go at the top and the bottom. And then the laser connects in here. And again, these only go in one way. Okay, so the last part of the assembly is this pipe, which is for the air assist. Right, so that's the air assist pump. So that's just gonna, the pipe's just gonna push onto that. Probably put a couple of tie wraps around that in a minute, and then it just connects in there and there. So I think that's probably the main assembly done, so we'll get it connected up now and test it. Okay, so before we start testing, let's see what else we've got. So we've got an aluminium sheet, which is the backing for, which is the back for this, which is a honeycomb grid. So what this does, you definitely need one of these if you're going to be cutting as opposed to engraving, because it, as a laser goes through, it allows it to go through and you get a clean cut as opposed to it bouncing back up, and you basically burn the back side of a piece that you're trying to cut out. Okay, we've also been supplied with a touch screen for the laser. Okay, we've also got the rotary roller kit, obviously for engraving anything round. Right, so I've just changed the plug from this to a standard UK plug so we can get going. Just having a quick flick through some of the installation instructions here, and it turns out there's some configuration file to import and possibly an firmware update. So I'll just do that and then we'll get going with the test. What you need to do is you need to download this MKS ESP32 tool, and then you also download the configuration file, which is this LGTB1 screen file, and then basically just load the file in, and then obviously connect your laser engraver to your computer and then click start with these settings, and it goes through, enables it all, and then the Wi-Fi and everything works on the screen. So for a test, I think it's only fair to use the specs that they're giving. So apparently cutting parameter in one pass. Let's start with the first one, which is 20mm plywood. So it should be said that I've got another machine, it's not a Longer, it's another make, and it's a 20 watt laser, and there's no way it would do 20mm. In actual fact, even when I tested it, it struggled to do, I think it was 9mm in 2 passes, so it'll be interesting to see if this can do it in one pass. Okay, so to switch it on, make sure the emergency stop is out, then press the on button and then missile launch. About 3/4 of the way through, piece of solid oak on one pass. So 2 passes on that, we should be all the way through. Okay, so we'll just try a piece of MDF now, because MDF does like to burn these I speeded it up a little bit, and then we'll go for 4 passes on this. Right, I mean, it has nearly gone all the way through. If you sort of look how far it got through each time, which is about here, and then we're into this area then which just starts to burn really, but it's about 12mm clean cut, which if you look on the literature that is supplied of it, they do actually list 12mm as being a maximum thickness it can cut through. So if you look and cross-reference the two, then yeah, that works out to be about right. Right, so I think we've proved the point it can cut thicker materials. What I'll do now is I'll try cutting this, which is 3mm thick, which is probably close to the material size most people would use a laser engraver for, and we'll see. I've speeded it up by a factor of 10 now. So we'll double the speed again. There we go. And we'll double the speed again. So yeah, okay. Got a bit of a play with the settings on this to see how fast I can get it to cut, and at the moment it looks like it's around about 15mm per second for a nice clean cut on that, which is this speed now what it's doing. Right, so I've got a few scraps of black acrylic basically here. Just try cutting this out and see how well it cuts this. Really good actually, very good. Right, so that was imported as a picture. I haven't timed that, but I'll try and put a timestamp on the video when I come to edit it, and then speed it up so you can see how fast something like that can be done. So the next thing I'll try and engrave on is glass. Now according to this it needs to be painted blue where you're going to engrave, which is unlucky because I haven't got blue, so we'll go for black instead and then see how that gets on. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but we'll try anyway. Let that dry and give it another coat in a minute. Okay, that's 2 coats of black emulsion, let that dry and then we'll try to engrave it. Right, so that's all the rotary kit set up, so it connects into a y-axis, which is up there. So we'll just go for this and see how it comes out. Right, so we're just going to wash this off and see what that looks like. Okay, so it's come out really well, that, with a black paint as opposed to blue. So. Right, so one of the things apparently you can engrave is stainless steel. What I haven't got any, so what I've done is I've got a piece of brass here. So I'll put the black coating on, you know, I've got that all aid how it etches it. So we'll see how we get on with this. So just get that cleaned off and see how well that's come out. Okay, so again, yeah, it's done a good job. Good definition, good detail. Think of it, how well that picks up in the light, but yeah, certainly engraved like brass. So one of the things I do want to try engraving is slate. So I don't know what settings will work on this yet, so I'll have a little bit of a play, try and get the right settings, and then we'll try engraving something on this. Okay, so we've used Lightburn, and in Lightburn it's got basically a test generator for material, so we've done that. So looking at the power and the speed, I think we can probably get away with maybe 60% and the speed of 10,000. So if you look down here, I don't know if it will pick you up or not, but when we're on obviously the slower speed and when the 100% is actually melted it to the point where that actually looks like glass. So in order to etch on this, he's probably going to go somewhere around about here, and we'll do a test piece of that. Okay, so that's taken about, I think it's about 30 minutes, 2 passes to do that. Right, so that's about all the testing I'm going to do in this video. I am going to do another follow-up video where I am actually going to make something with the laser itself. Okay, so just as a summary, the things I like is the assembly time. You can be up and running in this machine in, well, probably less than an hour of assembly. I do like the fact that it's got an emergency stop, which my other laser hasn't got. As with my Longer 3D printer, it's also got offline capability, so all you got to do is just put your file onto a little micro SD card and then put it in there, and then when you turn the machine on, you can then just go and pick your file and then do all the normal functions you would on a PC. So you can just press frame in and it will do that. And then just to start, you just press the carving. And you can just move it back to home. Cable management is relatively good on the machine. In a lot of the machines you can tell it's almost like an afterthought, but we have obviously got the cables running inside the frame here for the motor up the end, and then we've got these little velcro straps on the top for these ones here. I do like the fact that I've been able to get the extension bed for this a lot of the time, so that's about the area I can cut with my other laser. The problem is a lot of the times I want to cut something different, so I always end up trying to maybe put it on an angle in the software to cut it out, but on this one is I can just basically get another one of these, put it there, and then I can do the larger cutouts in one go. I like the fact that the air assist is automatic. It comes off obviously the plug on the controller there. Again, on my other laser, sometimes you can forget to put it on, and I have done several times. Air assist is very important on these kind of lasers. The only real negative at this point I would say about the machine is I'm not really over keen on these cables and plugs sticking out the top like this. I can see me knocking those or damaging them. I can't see really, especially in the environment that they're in. Also might end up with a fair bit of dust and stuff inside them. I think there's probably enough room in this box section here where they could have possibly taken the plugs, put a plate on the front and had them connected in there. But that's about it really. So if you're interested in this particular machine, there is a link in the description. It is an affiliate link and I will get a certain percentage of the sales. But yeah, it's a good machine, especially if you're after something which is relatively quick at engraving or cutting and is capable of a large bed area. So thanks for watching.